that 22 billion is not locked in that liquidity pool because it's full range, so it can never fully exit. So you get the benefit of people have to route through TitanX first, so it pushes up the TitanX price, which pushes up everything in the ecosystem, to then go and buy the meme coin, which locks the liquidity in the liquidity pool. So there's a bunch of tertiary benefits that you also get with the bond liquidity. And another benefit that you get with the bond liquidity is if we launch a protocol like X28, for example, and not financial advice, but the price improves, then automatically by default, everything gets dragged up with it because it's priced in TitanX. And so it's kind of, I like saying this saying of one for all for one, and the rising tide lifts all boats. That only works if your only liquidity pair is the ocean. Because if you're like, your boat is here and then your boat is like on this other ocean, let's say it's like Atlantic Ocean and then Mediterranean Ocean, whatever kind of ocean that is. If this ocean moves, this ocean doesn't move. So it has to be bond liquidity, and then the rising tide lifts all boats. Like when we had the TitanX pump, the DragonX got the most because it had a bunch of hype behind it. But by default, everything did a 2.5x, even if nobody was buying or selling it because it's priced in TitanX. So if TitanX goes up 2.5x in value, everything else by default goes 2.5x up in value. It's pretty sick. And I've seen other ecosystems attempt this, but they just kind of suck. There's no marketing, there's no community, there's no streamers, there's nothing really going on. There's no zest or personality. There's like nothing special about it. And then they do it the old-fashioned way, which is like through taxing the coin, which is fine. I just think TitanX has executed on it perfectly, and all the protocols built on top of TitanX have extremely sticky game theory. So the community just cares way more about this ecosystem.
Right. Yeah. Great. Hey, great analysis. Now, I want to get back into TitanX and talk about that extremely high inflationary period. So when TitanX first launched, we saw a huge hype high miners. Everybody was doing the short-term miners. Everybody was blowing up. X was crazy. It was TitanX. And then we started to see the supply come out. And then we started to see the community get quieter, and it got really, really silent. And then all of a sudden, now it's coming back, and we're starting to see people get loud again. What was your thoughts about that in between downtime?
Pretty relatively expected because it also went quiet during that time, because that was the perfect time to just get kind of weak hands out. I was watching a live stream, I think it was from Crypto Banter, and he described corrections as going from the wrong hands to the correct hands. And that was such a small little sentence, but it stuck with me. And so in the beginning, we just had to get people out. And then after day 280, because everybody that wanted to get out, they're 100% out before day 280. Because they're like, oh, big supply spike, etc., etc. And now we just have the diamond hand community, the builders. I would say the real TitanX price started at day 280, because almost close to 80% of the supply is in existence now. And that extra 20% of supply really doesn't matter, because there's a bunch of like top 100 protocols that have only 50% of their supply circulating, and the other 50% is going to be unlocked VC tokens, insider tokens. And even when the price unlocks, maybe they go down for like a day and then they recover back to the low price. So I think from now on, we have the real TitanX price, like the real fair value of TitanX. So in my opinion, it only started from day 280. That was the official start of TitanX. And everything before that was just getting it in the right hands, onboarding community, building network effect, and then having the builders build the infrastructure. And now, after day 280 is kind of what it officially started.
Love it, man. Love